Did you know that a single traffic mistake in California could now cost you up to $50,000? Starting immediately? And here's the shocking part, millions of drivers have no idea the rules have changed. New 2026 updates are quietly rolling out, and some of them target habits many of us do every single day without thinking twice. Imagine driving home the same way you always do, checking your phone at a red light, speeding slightly on your usual shortcut, or assuming your insurance coverage is good enough. What if one of those normal routines is now considered a serious violation? What if the fine isn't just a ticket, but a financial disaster? Tonight, we're uncovering 10 major California law changes that could impact your license, your record, and your bank account. And trust me, number 7 alone has already caught thousands of drivers off guard. Before you click away, tell me honestly in the comments, which law shocked you the most? If this video protected you even a little, please subscribe. It's just one click, but for us, it means everything because we put our heart into making these videos for you. Number 1, the hidden crackdown on distracted driving. Here's the first change that's catching thousands of drivers off guard. California's distracted driving enforcement is becoming far more aggressive in 2026. And no, this isn't just about texting while driving anymore. Under updated enforcement policies tied to California's hands-free driving laws, even holding your phone briefly at a red light can now trigger serious penalties. Officers are no longer overlooking those quick checks at stop signs or traffic signals. Why the sudden crackdown? Because studies continue to show that distracted driving remains one of the leading causes of preventable crashes. According to safety data from the California Office of Traffic Safety, thousands of collisions every year are linked directly to mobile phone use, even when drivers believed they were being careful. The brain doesn't switch back to full focus instantly. Even a 2-second glance at your screen can reduce reaction time dramatically. And here's where it gets serious. Repeat violations can now stack up quickly, impacting your driving record and increasing insurance premiums. What used to be a small fine can snowball into something financially painful. So what should you do? Set your GPS before you shift into drive. Activate voice commands. Put your phone in do not disturb while driving mode. If you absolutely must check something, pull over completely and park safely. Think about it this way. Is that notification really worth risking your license or your wallet? Because starting now, yo, I was just checking it for a second is no longer an excuse. Now, tell me in the comments, have you ever checked your phone at a red light thinking it was harmless? If this opened your eyes, please subscribe. It's just one click, but for us it means the world because we truly pour our time and heart into protecting you with these videos. Number 2, illegal street racing. If you think street racing only affects the drivers behind the wheel, think again. In 2026, California is tightening the screws not just on racers, but on spectators, organizers, and even those promoting events online. That means simply showing up to watch an illegal street race could now lead to massive fines, vehicle impoundment, and in extreme cases, penalties reaching up to $50,000, depending on damages and involvement. Why is the state coming down so hard? Because illegal street racing isn't just dangerous, it's deadly. According to reports from the California Highway Patrol, street racing incidents have led to a sharp rise in high-speed crashes over the past few years. These aren't minor fender benders. We're talking about multi-vehicle collisions, serious injuries, and innocent bystanders losing their lives in seconds. And here's what many people don't realize. Authorities are now using social media monitoring and traffic surveillance to track organized racing meetups. That just going to watch mindset? It can now legally count as aiding or encouraging the event in certain situations. So what's the smart move? Stay away from any unofficial racing gathering, even if it feels harmless. If you see a race forming, leave the area immediately. Don't record it, don't share it, don't tag your location. What might seem like entertainment for a few minutes could turn into a financial nightmare that follows you for years. Because in 2026, being just a spectator might no longer protect you. If you've ever been tempted to watch a street race, tell me honestly in the comments. And if this video is helping you stay safe and informed, please subscribe and support us. It's one simple click for you, but it truly means everything to the work we put into these videos for you. Number 3, electric vehicle charging violations. With California pushing hard toward clean energy, electric vehicles are everywhere now. But in 2026, new enforcement rules are targeting something many drivers don't think twice about: EV charging station misuse. And yes, this applies even if you don't drive an electric car. Blocking an EV charging space with a gas-powered vehicle, even just for 5 minutes, is now being treated more seriously in certain cities. Fines are increasing, enforcement is expanding, and repeat violations can trigger additional penalties. The reasoning is simple. California's infrastructure is rapidly shifting to support electric transportation, and access to charging is now considered essential and not optional. According to transportation initiatives supported by the California Energy Commission, although the state is investing billions into expanding public charging networks, interfering with that infrastructure, whether by parking illegally, tampering with equipment, or damaging chargers, is being viewed as disrupting a critical public system. Here's where people get caught off guard. Some drivers park in charging spots thinking, I'll only be here for a minute. Others unplug a vehicle that's charging because they need the spot. Under updated rules, both actions can lead to steep fines in certain jurisdictions, and tampering or vandalizing charging equipment, that can escalate into criminal charges. So what should you do? Treat EV charging spaces like accessible parking. If it's not for you, don't use it. Always check posted signs. If you drive electric, follow proper charging etiquette and avoid unplugging others unless clearly permitted. Because in 2026, something that feels minor could quickly become a costly mistake. Drop a lightning bolt in the comments if you've seen someone misuse an EV charging spot. And if these updates are helping you avoid expensive mistakes, please subscribe and support our channel. It's just one click for you, but it truly keeps us going. Number 4, safety corridor speed zones. Now this one is dangerous because most drivers won't even realize they've entered it. In 2026, California is expanding what are known as safety corridors, specific high-risk roadways where speeding penalties can be significantly increased. And we're not talking about just a slightly higher ticket. In some areas, fines can be doubled, and repeat violations can trigger serious financial consequences. So what exactly is a safety corridor? These are stretches of highway or urban roads identified by traffic data as having unusually high accident rates, serious injuries, or fatalities. State and local agencies analyze crash patterns, speeding trends, and emergency response records to mark these zones. Once designated, they often include enhanced signage. But here's the catch. Many drivers miss the signs entirely. Transportation safety data referenced by the California Department of Transportation shows that targeted enforcement in high-risk zones significantly reduces fatal crashes. That's the goal. Fewer lives lost. But for drivers unaware of the change, it can mean walking straight into a financial trap. Picture this. You're driving your normal commute. Maybe you're going 10 or 15 miles over the limit, something that felt routine before. But inside a safety corridor, that same behavior now carries much heavier penalties. Insurance increases, points on your license, possible court appearances. The smart move? Slow down before you think you need to. Watch carefully for new signage. If you drive the same route daily, check whether parts of it have been redesignated under the new rules, because in 2026, where you speed matters just as much as how fast you're going. If these updates are protecting you from costly surprises, please subscribe and stand with us. It's only one click, but it fuels the time, research, and dedication we put into every single video for you. Number 5, insurance minimums are rising. This next change isn't flashy, but it could quietly hit your wallet harder than any speeding ticket. In 2026, California is increasing the minimum required auto insurance coverage limits, and millions of drivers still haven't updated their policies. That means what used to be considered legal coverage may now fall short, putting you at serious financial risk. Why is this happening? Because the cost of everything has gone up. Medical bills, vehicle repairs, parts, labor, and even minor accidents now cost far more than they did a decade ago. Lawmakers argue that outdated coverage minimums no longer reflect real-world accident expenses. And when coverage is too low, victims are left unpaid, or drivers are forced to pay the difference out of pocket. Data tied to enforcement updates from the California Department of Motor Vehicles shows that uninsured and underinsured drivers remain a major issue statewide. The new requirements aim to reduce that gap. But here's the part many people don't realize. If your policy doesn't meet the updated threshold after renewal, you could face penalties, registration suspension, or liability exposure after an accident. Imagine getting into a crash and thinking, at least I have insurance, then finding out your coverage no longer meets the legal standard, and you're responsible for thousands in damages beyond your policy limits. The smart move right now? Call your insurance provider. Ask specifically about 2026 minimum requirement changes, review your liability limits, compare quotes if needed, because in today's economy, minimum coverage might not be enough to truly protect you. If you value content that shields your license and your livelihood, please subscribe and support this channel. That single click keeps our research alive and helps us continue bringing you updates that truly matter. Number 6, catalytic converter laws. Catalytic converter theft has exploded across California in recent years, and 2026 brings tougher laws designed to crack down hard, not just on thieves, but on illegal sales and improper vehicle compliance. And here's where many drivers don't realize they could get caught in the middle. A catalytic converter isn't just another car part. It contains valuable metals like platinum and palladium, making it a target for organized theft rings. Because of this surge, California is introducing stricter documentation requirements for resale, tighter regulations for repair shops, and harsher penalties for possessing or installing unverified converters. According to enforcement efforts connected to the California Highway Patrol, thousands of theft cases have been reported statewide. When costing drivers millions in repairs, the state's response: increased inspections and stronger tracking systems for replacement parts. Here's the problem. If you unknowingly purchase a stolen or non-compliant catalytic converter, even through a third-party seller, you could face fines, failed emissions tests, or registration delays. Many drivers trying to save money by buying discounted parts online may not realize the risk until it's too late. Imagine repairing your car after theft only to find out the replacement part isn't legally documented. Now you're stuck paying twice, once for the repair and again for compliance. The smart move: always use licensed repair shops, ask for proper documentation, verify part serial numbers where required. And if you haven't already, consider installing protective shields to reduce theft risk. Because in 2026, protecting your vehicle isn't just about preventing theft, it's about protecting yourself from legal consequences too. If this kind of real-world protection matters to you, please subscribe and stand behind our work. That one small click helps us keep digging, researching, and bringing you the updates that could save you thousands. Number 7, autonomous vehicle interaction laws. This next change feels futuristic, but it's happening right now. Autonomous vehicles are no longer rare on California roads. From delivery units to fully self-driving taxis, these cars are becoming part of daily traffic. And in 2026, new laws are tightening how regular drivers must behave around them. Many people assume self-driving cars are programmed to handle everything, but that assumption is exactly what lawmakers are trying to correct. Updated regulations now clarify that human drivers can still be held responsible for unsafe behavior around autonomous vehicles. That includes cutting them off aggressively, intentionally blocking them, or interfering with their sensors. State testing programs coordinated with the California Department of Motor Vehicles have expanded rapidly. And with that growth comes stricter enforcement guidelines. Authorities argue that as autonomous vehicles increase, clear behavioral rules are necessary to prevent confusion and collisions. Here's what catches drivers off guard. Some people treat self-driving cars like obstacles instead of vehicles. They assume the car will brake automatically or adjust no matter what. But sudden lane changes, brake checking, or harassment can now carry steeper penalties, especially if it causes disruption or damage. Imagine weaving through traffic and deliberately squeezing in front of a self-driving vehicle, thinking it will always stop in time. If that interaction results in a crash, liability may not fall where you expect. The practical advice? Treat autonomous vehicles with the same caution and respect you would give any other driver, maybe even more. Maintain safe following distances, avoid aggressive maneuvers, stay predictable. Because in 2026, technology might be advanced, but responsibility still belongs to you. If you want to stay ahead of these fast-changing road rules, please subscribe and back our channel. Your one click truly supports the hours of research and effort we dedicate to keeping you informed and protected. Number 8, stricter DUI enforcement. This next update is one that many drivers dangerously misunderstand. In 2026, California is strengthening DUI enforcement. And it's not just about being over the legal alcohol limit anymore. Officers are receiving expanded training and tools to detect impairment from alcohol, cannabis, prescription medication, and even combined substances. That means you could technically be under 0.08% and still face serious consequences if you're deemed impaired. Law enforcement agencies, including the California Highway Patrol, are increasing roadside evaluations and sobriety checks in high-risk areas. The focus has shifted from just blood alcohol numbers to overall driver impairment. If your reaction time, coordination, or judgment appears compromised, that alone can trigger arrest and charges. And here's what surprises people. Cannabis-related DUI enforcement is expanding. Even though marijuana is legal in California, driving while impaired by it is not. Unlike alcohol, there isn't a simple universal number that proves impairment, which means officers rely heavily on behavioral signs and field sobriety testing. Picture this: you had a couple of drinks at dinner, you feel fine, you've driven home like this before, but now enforcement is tighter and the consequences are harsher: license suspension, thousands in legal fees, increased insurance rates, and possibly mandatory programs. The safest move? If you drink or use any substance that could affect alertness, don't drive at all. Use a rideshare. Call a friend. Wait longer than you think you need to. Because in 2026, guessing you're okay to drive is a risk you simply can't afford. If protecting your freedom and future matters to you, please subscribe and support our mission. That single tap helps us continue creating videos that could truly make a difference in your life. Number 9, expanded pedestrian right-of-way. This next change may seem small, but it's already creating confusion on city streets. In 2026, California is strengthening pedestrian right-of-way protections, and drivers are now expected to take extra caution in more situations than before. The key difference? It's no longer just about marked crosswalks. Enforcement now focuses on intent to cross, not just whether someone has stepped into the road. That means if a pedestrian is clearly waiting at the curb, making eye contact, or positioning themselves to cross, you may be legally required to yield, even before they step forward. What many drivers used to treat as a slow roll through a crosswalk can now result in a citation. Data highlighted by the California Office of Traffic Safety shows pedestrian injuries remain a serious concern statewide, particularly in urban areas. Lawmakers argue that stricter enforcement encourages drivers to slow down and stay alert in neighborhoods, school zones, and busy intersections. Imagine approaching a crosswalk at dusk. Someone stands near the edge, looking at traffic. You assume they're waiting. You continue rolling forward, not fast, not reckless, just steady. Under expanded enforcement, that assumption could now cost you a fine and points on your record. The smart move? Come to a full stop when pedestrians are present near crossings. Make clear eye contact. Allow them complete space to cross safely. Avoid rushing turns at intersections where visibility is limited. Because in 2026, I thought they weren't crossing may no longer protect you from penalties. If staying ahead of rules like this truly matters to you, please subscribe and stand behind our work. Your one click helps us keep producing these carefully researched videos that could save you from costly mistakes. Number 10, repeat offender escalation. This final change might be the most dangerous of all because it doesn't happen all at once. In 2026, California is increasing penalties for repeat traffic violations, meaning those minor tickets you brush off could quietly stack up into something much more serious. Here's how it works. Individual infractions like speeding, distracted driving, or failure to yield may seem manageable on their own, but under updated enforcement guidelines, accumulating multiple violations within a certain time frame can trigger escalating consequences. Higher fines, mandatory court appearances, license suspension reviews, and significantly increased insurance premiums. The California Department of Motor Vehicles already operates a point system that tracks driver behavior. But the 2026 updates tighten thresholds and expand monitoring systems. That means patterns of risky behavior are being flagged faster than before. What used to take years to escalate could now happen much sooner. Imagine getting a speeding ticket early in the year. A few months later, a distracted driving citation. Then maybe a failure to yield violation. Individually, each one feels inconvenient. Together, they form a pattern, and that pattern can lead to license suspension or costly penalties that follow you for years. The smart strategy? Don't ignore small tickets. Consider traffic school if eligible. Drive defensively, especially after a citation. Periodically check your driving record to ensure accuracy. Because in 2026, it's not just about one mistake, it's about the story your driving record tells over time. If you appreciate the effort we put into breaking down complex laws so you can stay protected, please subscribe and support this channel. That one simple click truly helps us continue creating videos that safeguard your future. If there's one thing this video should make clear, it's this. 2026 is not business as usual for California drivers. The roads may look the same, your daily commute may feel the same, but the rules behind the scenes have shifted in ways that can seriously impact your license, your finances, and even your freedom. What makes these changes so powerful isn't just the size of the fines. It's how easily everyday habits can now turn into violations. checking your phone for just a second, rolling slightly through a crosswalk, parking somewhere for convenience, assuming your insurance hasn't changed. None of these feel like major risks in the moment, but under updated enforcement, they can snowball fast. And here's the reality: most drivers won't find out about these changes until it's too late. I cakes, until the flashing lights appear in the rearview mirror, until the fine arrives in the mail, until their insurance premium suddenly jumps. But you're different, because now you know. Knowledge is protection, awareness is prevention, and small adjustments today can save you from massive consequences tomorrow. Slow down a little earlier, put the phone away completely, review your coverage, drive with intention instead of assumption. California's goal may be safer roads, and that's important, but your goal should be staying informed, staying alert, and staying financially protected. Because in 2026, it's not reckless drivers who will suffer most, it's the uninformed ones. And now, you're no longer one of them.